It has been a struggle for some zoos and aquariums across the country as they've lost revenue due to restrictions on visitors during the pandemic. At first, there was concern about how long zoos could go. But as reporter Dan Grossman tells us, they're finding new ways to adapt and still keep animals healthy and fed.
This was not the 125th year celebration this zoo had in mind.
Normally this path on a summer day would be filled with families and kids and, laughter.
Things are quiet, serene almost, if it wasn't for the fact that this stagnancy has led to challenges the Denver Zoo and spokesman Jake Cubier have not yet faced before.
Come hell or high water, we're going to take care of these animals, and that's really the creed of the AZA.
The AZA is the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, the nonprofit that works with our country's 240 accredited zoos and aquariums. In it, there are more than 500,000 animals that need food and care each day and every day.
It's definitely been one of those things that made you scratch your head a little bit, like, what the heck's going on?
Take that elephant entering the frame behind zoo nutritionist Jason Williams' head. She eats around $76,000 worth of food each year.
There's certain things you can, jockey around and try to be more efficient at, but the primary care of the animals and the nutrition profiles and the diets of the animals have never been on the table.
It makes it a numbers game. Take Denver's situation. Each month, it costs $1 million to feed and care for its animals. But since the pandemic started, the zoo has either been closed or operating at limited capacity. That means its largest portion of income, visitors who make up 70% of revenue, have been missing. And it's been like that for each and every zoo across the country.
I think it's very safe to say that through everything that's happened in that time, this is probably the most challenging year in the zoo's history and in the industry's history, honestly.
It has meant cutting staff, some of whom have created bonds with these animals, choosing more cost-effective ingredients, and slashing educational programs and conservation efforts that make the zoo a bastion of experiential learning for adults and kids alike.
It's been a challenging time, but at the same time, I think it's really allowed us to focus in on the things that are very important and make sure that those things don't change.
Zoos with fewer than 300 employees will be eligible for part of the $284 billion in PPP loans included in the government's most recent stimulus package passed around the holidays, as well as $15 billion in grants, making this labor of love a little more manageable moving forward in this new year.
The zoo is such a special place because the circle of life continues here no matter what.
I'm Dan Grossman reporting.
Stay with us. Today's top stories are after the break.